started off on the wrong foot here as far as, we gave you a charge, but we didn't, I think people like myself who've been around a little while, and Bob, I think we assumed that people would know what the role is and how government works a little bit, or doesn't work. And as a result, there's a little bit of a breakdown or miscommunication between the board and how the communication was going to take place and how it should take place. You know, generally we have a liaison from the board that interacts with the different boards, committees, and commissions, and through the liaison, things would come back to the board. And in this specific instance, you know, what I guess I was anticipating or was hoping for was, you know, let's see if we can cull out one or two issues that we can agree on and try and move forward to have a couple of wins under our belt and get it going and get it moving. And it's just a breakdown of communication. I think the tax classification issue was the wrong issue to even to go about and try and, you know, hatch as soon as it was put forward. And whereby, you know, there isn't any cost savings associated with that. Our initial reaction, inclination to forming the committee was to see, you know, what can we do to, you know, raise more revenue, do things a little bit differently, things of that nature. The tax classification issue is an issue that the board has to determine annually. And again, some communities in years past we have classified a little bit. You know, and we wrestle with that every year, the board does. So for the committee to take that on and bring it forward on an issue that we deal with on an annual basis anyway, we're going to be thinking outside the box. We're going to be looking at things differently. Maybe don't pick on an issue that we're going to talk about and discuss as a board annually anyway. And again, it can be rather divisive too in relation to that specific issue. But let's see if we can, you know, cull out from all the suggestions that you have. If there's a couple that we can progress and move forward, you know, to see if we can make some progress here. I think that would, you know, bolster the morale first and foremost. And secondly, I think just if we can get the lines of communication working a little bit better in relation to, let's cull out an issue or two. If you've got something that you want to feel as though you can move forward immediately with, you know, bring it through Sean. Sean, run it through the chair. We'll take a little consensus here and say, yeah, okay, let's see if we can push that one forward. Have you come in, make the presentation so that the public then gets involved in it. And what tends to happen is, you know, we think in our minds we know what's going on. You're doing an awful lot of work behind the scenes and not in the public view. And the frustration level just builds. It's the nature of the beast, I guess. So I think we do have to work on a level of communication and see if we can pick a couple of issues to move forward and move on. I think that in and of itself would foster better relationships here and also give you a sense of accomplishment. Because I know, having served on a number of boards, committees, and commissions, sometimes it takes years of effort to get something done, and the result might not even be what we were originally looking for. When I served on the Hillview Commission with Bob and the other members, one of the reasons I loved serving on that was because we were able to bring to fruition rather quickly some ideas and get them done. To me, as opposed to sitting on this board, where we talk about things an awful lot and other things and obstacles come into play where we can't necessarily move forward as quickly. So I understand your frustration and the other members' frustration. Let's see if we can work through that and get through the lines of communication a little better, get a couple of wins under our belt here. But we are doing some things along with a suggested list, and see if we can do a better job of communicating. And again, getting out in the public venue too. I think you're a good forum. And some of the ideas, most of the ideas that you have, I've heard over the years and I've looked at over the years, but it's good to look at it with fresh eyes and some new ideas. And the time is different today than it was 2 years ago, 5 years ago, and 10 years ago. So it's good to come back and relook at and revisit some of these things. Let's do it. Mrs. Castro, you.
I just wanted to say, Michael, that it seems to me that, you know, you've made the point, you know, a few times about the communication being better. It seems to me that there's an acknowledgement, you know, by the Board of Selectmen that they're going to work on that. I know that you're committed to working on that. As a citizen, it is absolutely critical to have a fiscal advisory committee.
perspective and their heart's in the right place to continue on. But I do have one last thing. It's related to the Energy Committee you brought up. With Mike's departure, is there someone going to take over in his role?
We're gonna be discussing liaison assignments, this evening.
Just
There will be someone taking over that role.
good, and I'd like to meet with them, because we have been trying to speak with some energy companies and trying to get some ideas from them on how we can make improvements in the town. And, some haven't really brought much, and there's some that actually have some really good ideas. I think it would be great if we could help maybe connect them with our energy committee, and maybe we'll get out of the way. But I think if we can go and do some initial work for you, I'd like to do that. I've been doing some of that myself.
I think you or a representative of the FAC should talk to the members of the Energy Committee, because you might find out that there's actually some
Yeah,
real
I think it would be
expertise
good.
on the committee that's already moving forward.
I mean, I've had some companies contact me, which is great, and I'd love to just make those connections happen. So, once you have a point of contact, I'm glad to do that. Thank you for your time. I do appreciate it.
It's actually the next item on our agenda.
Okay.
I know, do we have an appointment?
Yeah, right. Oh, I'm sorry, the appointment. Which is related to the FAC too, by the way. We haven't received a letter of resignation from Mel yet, have we? But I think we could go forward with this appointment.
Yeah, I think what it is based on the reorganization,
Yeah.
otherwise he was the liaison,
Right.
so basically,
So you want to read the,
Mr. Chairman, I move to place in nomination the following name for appointment as a member of the Fiscal Advisory Committee for a term to expire June 30th, 2010. Karen Suter, School Committee Liaison.
motion by Mr. Yule, do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Delaney. This can be just a regular vote. Discussion. This is just following the basic philosophy that we've had, that there's a voting member of the school committee on the FAC. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. Next item is liaison assignments. At our reorg meeting, I handed out liaison sheets. I've updated them based on the input that I received that evening. Now I have to find mine. I have it here, Steve. I just let everything get disorganized.
Take Joe's?
That's the only one here.
Oh, yeah, okay. All right, so Joe had expressed his wishes, knowing that he wouldn't be here, which is basically no change from last year. Steve and Sean swapped a couple related to the new vice chair. Jeff, you have on here
I
inherited Mr. Harris's, so I guess I'm going to ask you, is there any here that A, you would don't want or would like?
I guess I don't know enough not to want.
The objective is to, make a style, connect with the various organizations, and we'll make sure they're informed you're the liaison.
Is a swap required to make a change, or is it just if someone doesn't want to do it?
Well,
For-
make a proposal and we'll
Okay.
see. Let's make a deal.
Let's make a deal, yeah.
The only ones that are not negotiable right now are Joe's, I guess.
I guess, yeah. I guess, Steve, I was looking at a way that I can become more familiar with some of the activity in the town, and one that came to my mind was the Board of Appeals, to see if I can possibly be a liaison for that. You're very well versed on that area, and your expertise is unmatched. no doubt. But I was thinking that if I can gain as much knowledge in that area, that would be great, but, so. And I'll tell you what, I'll swap the, where's the elementary school building committee?
Yeah, that's off the list.
You wanna get involved, that's where you need to be involved.
That's right, that's gone.
The elementary school building committee is gone.
Yeah. So, you
Should take that up.
successfully abolished that one, huh?
Yeah, that was my first act.
Your first act, huh?
Yeah.
Again, my only reluctance in giving that is that sometimes, again, we don't have a lot of vacancies there. But when it comes to the appointments and things, as far as keeping balance and, it's generally why, over the years, we've had some, interesting situations with the Board of Appeals, and I think I've been able to keep it pretty well balanced and in check, and maybe so long as I'm here, if I can do that, I'd like to do that. Along with the Conservation Commission, again, we've had some pretty sticky issues over the years, and hopefully we've handled it fairly well, effectively, so I'm somewhat reluctant to give them up at this particular point in time.
I would rely on your expertise.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay, I guess,
Anything else?
any other changes or comments? Steve, the turf committee,
Yeah, that's fine. I anticipated that one.
I expected that you would want that. All right, I'm gonna publish this as it is, since it's the chair's prerogative. And,
Sounds good.
Yeah.
okay,
Good.
all right. Next item, we have legal bills for March. We got April's, and have you talked to them, about making sure that the June bill gets out in a reasonable period of time?
Yeah, we'll do.
And you've reviewed every,
I have, I just wanted to point out that there is a significant cost in labor, of which most of it is attributable to one case. We incurred about $13,000 of expenses in defending an arbitration claim. That case is concluded. We are awaiting a decision on it. The other remaining expenses are pretty much in line with what we've had as our run rate throughout, so other than the anomaly of seeing the higher labor case, all the other monthly expenses are in line with what we've budgeted. And the good news is that we expect that there'll be very modest expense in that labor case going forward. There are briefs that need to be filed by town council. They're due at the beginning of June, so there will be some additional costs, but all the arguments have been made before an arbitrator at this point.
and, based on the action that we took at town meeting, to supplement the legal bill, we're okay?
We're fine, and those costs were based upon, if you were to deduct out the costs attributable to the one labor case, the costs are running below what we projected our costs would be through the end of the year.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve legal bills for March 2009 in the amount of $22,530.45 as follows. Koppelman and Page, PC, General, $7,991.45. Koppelman and Page, PC, Labor, $14,127. Koppelman and Page, PC, Water, $289. Thompson/West, $123, again for a total of $22,530.45.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Yule, seconded by Mr. O'Leary.